Students, this is 12th class biology lecture 6 of chapter 8 human health and disease. Today we will discuss about the topic drug abuse. In this topic we will discuss about different categories of drugs which are abused, their mode of intake and effects on body. First of all, you need to know that what is drug abuse. So the use of drugs for purpose other than medicinal use. You know, all the medicines that you take are drugs. Okay, so you take those drugs, or you can say those medicines, for the welfare, for to improve in your health, right? But when these drugs are taken for purpose other than medicinal use, or in amounts that impairs one's physical, physiological or psychological functions, that is called drug abuse, right? So when the drugs are taken in appropriate amount, those drugs act like medicines. But when these are taken for purpose other than its medicinal use or in inappropriate amount, that can affect the physical health, physiological functions in your body or psychological state of the body, right? So in that case it is called drug abuse. If we are taking it in appropriate amount and for the medicinal purpose, in that case it is not drug abuse, right? Now these are the drugs which are commonly abused. First, categories of opioids. Second, cannabinoids. Third is coca alkaloids, right? So let's start with the opioids first. How these opioid drugs affect the body functions. So first of all, they bind to specific opioid receptors. So there are specific receptors to bind the opioid drugs, okay, and these receptors are present in CNS and gastrointestinal tract. So in central nervous system and gastrointestinal tracts, opioid receptors are present. So first of all, these drugs will bind with those receptors, and by binding with the receptors of central nervous system, these drugs will slow down the functioning of the nervous system. That's why these will act as the depressant and analgesic. Depressant means the drugs which are able to slow down the nervous system activity, right? And analgesic means drugs which are able to relieve the pain. If the activity of the nervous system will be slowed down, then it will help in relieving the pain, okay? So it lessens the pain, it reduces the tension and anxiety, okay? Because here functioning of the nervous system has been slowed down. That's why it will help in relieving the tension, in reducing the tension and anxiety also, okay? It lower the BP and respiration rate and reduce visual activity. So all the body functions are slowed down due to activity of these opioid drugs. Examples of these opioids are opium and its derivative. Okay, this opium is the specific name. This is an example of opioid drugs and its derivatives, which are called opiates and opioids. This opium is obtained from the dried latex of unripe capsules of poppy plant. Okay, poppy plant is a plant. From the capsules of the poppy plant, latex is obtained, okay, and from that latex this opium drug is obtained, right? So poppy plant is the general name from which we obtain opium. And from which part? From the capsule, the latex present in the capsule. And the scientific name for the poppy plant is Papaver somnifera. Okay, opium derivatives. So first of all, we obtain morphine from the latex of poppy plant, okay. Morphine is first of all extracted from the capsules, from the latex which is present inside the capsules of poppy plant, right? And this morphine is a strong analgesic and sedative. Analgesic means which can relieve the pain, and sedative means it induces the sleep, Okay, sedative means induce sleep. That's why due to these properties of morphine, it is used medicinally. It is used during the surgery, because during the surgery there is a requirement of the painkiller and sedative. That's why it is used during the surgery for the medicinal purpose. And then derivatives of this morphine are abused, and these derivatives are like brown sugar. What is this brown sugar? This is called heroin. Okay, heroin is a drug that is called diacetyl morphine or SMAC. Diacetyl morphine means two acetyl groups are attached with the morphine. Okay, so it is a derivative of morphine in which acetylation of morphine is done. Okay, by the acetylation it becomes heroin. It is most dangerous, white in color, odorless, bitter in taste, and crystalline compound. Okay, it is crystalline. It is produced by acetylation of morphine. It is a depressant. Okay, means slows down the nervous activity and also slows down all the body functions. Generally, it is taken by snorting and injection. So it can be snorted or can be taken by injection. Then one more derivative is codeine. That is a mild analgesic. Mild analgesic means it can relieve pain. Okay, means slow pain can be relieved. Weak pain can be relieved by codeine, and it is used in cough syrups. Next category of drugs is cannabinoids. These cannabinoids interact with cannabinoid receptors in brain. In our brain, receptors for these cannabinoids are present. So these drugs bind with those receptors and interact. Okay. Natural cannabinoids are obtained from Cannabis sativa. So this is the name of plant from which natural cannabinoids are obtained. General name for the Cannabis sativa is hemp plant. This is scientific name, and general name is hemp plant. From the different parts of the hemp plant, we obtain different cannabinoids. Okay, like flower tops, leaves, and resin of cannabis, means Cannabis sativa, are used to produce bhang, ganja, charas, that is hashish, and marijuana, etc. Okay, so these parts of the hemp plant, flower top, leaves, and resin, all these parts of this plant give different types of cannabinoids, right? These are generally taken by inhalation, means these can be directly inhaled, or by oral injection, means these can be taken orally. What are the effects of these cannabinoids? These affect our cardiovascular system, means heart and the related arteries and veins are affected by cannabinoids. After that, next category of drugs is coca alkaloid, which are also called cocaine or coke or crack. Okay, and these drugs are obtained from coca plant. Coca plant is the general name, and the scientific name for this plant is Erythroxylum coca. Okay, so this is the plant from which we obtain coca alkaloid. How these work? This interferes with the transport of the neurotransmitter dopamine. You have studied in 11th class about the neurotransmitter, that these are the chemicals which are released from the nerve endings of one nerve and give signal to the next neuron, right? And here this neurotransmitter dopamine. So this is normally secreted in our body. Okay, and this dopamine secreted from the neuron gives signal to the next neuron, and it gives a signal of euphoria, means it makes us energetic. Okay, it is useful to make us energetic and we feel good due to the release of this dopamine, right? But there is a controlled the secretion of this dopamine from the different neurons is in controlled way. Normally it is released in a controlled way because another protein is present to inhibit its secretion also, right? But when these drugs are taken, means coca alkaloid, these coca alkaloids interfere with the release of dopamine, means these release the dopamine in excess amount. So it will accumulate in the gap between the neurons, and you can say that there will be a continuous release of the dopamine. Okay, there will be continuous signal to the next neuron for the euphoria, means for the energetic. Okay, that's why there will these drugs are interfering with the dopamine function. Okay, because there will be excessive, you can say excessive stimulation of the neurons, and we will feel energetic, over energetic, you can say, due to effect of coca alkaloids. Cocaine is usually snorted. Cocaine is coca alkaloid. Okay, and it is usually snorted. Snorted means taken through the nose, means by smelling, you can see. Okay, it is inhaled through the nose, so that is called snorting. These coca alkaloids stimulate central nervous system, because these are affecting the dopamine function. Okay, so we can say these are stimulating the central nervous system. By interfering with the dopamine, these are stimulating our central nervous system and producing euphoria. Euphoria means energetic feeling and increased energy, right? So person after taking these feel very happy and energetic. Excessive doses cause hallucination. Hallucination means you start seeing, means you start watching the things around you which are not actually present. Okay, so such a kind of feeling is called hallucination. Okay, you see the things around you which doesn't exist actually. So that kind of feeling is called hallucination, and that is an effect of coca alkaloid, because you are feeling very happy and energetic. So you just you can say you think about the things by which you feel happy, and that stage is called hallucination. These coca alkaloids stimulates the central nervous system, and these are some other examples of coca alkaloids, you can say, like caffeine. Okay, that is present in coffee. Okay, so that a cardiac stimulant, means it affects our heart. Okay, act as cardiac stimulant. Cocaine is another example. Then amphetamines. Amphetamines is also a synthetic form of the coca alkaloids, and it is used in pills. Okay, in many medicines it is used. Amphetamines and anabolic steroids. Okay, there are many drugs like amphetamines, synthetic form of coca alkaloids, and also some anabolic steroids, which are usually cannabinoids. Okay, so these anabolic steroids are also misused by some athletes. So these are used by the sports person to increase their energy level. Okay, so that they can win in the sports or in any race. Okay, so these are misused by athletes. What are the effects of these coca alkaloids? These cause colorful hallucinations. Okay, you know the meaning of hallucinations now. You imagine the things which doesn't exist actually. Okay, change thoughts, right? Your thoughts will be changed, feelings and perceptions due to intake of these drugs. Plants with hallucinogenic property are Atropa belladonna and datura. So these plants also have the property of hallucinogenic, means some of the parts of these plants are used to make the drugs which have hallucinogenic properties, right? There are some other examples also of the coca alkaloid drugs which have the property of hallucination. Okay, these are benzodiazepines and lysergic acid diethylamines. That is called LSD. Okay, so full form of this LSD is asked in exams. Okay, that is lysergic acid diethylamines. Now see here, these are chemical structures of morphine and cannabinoid. Okay, morphine means the first category of the drugs, that was opioids. Okay, so morphine is a opioid, and this one is second category, that is cannabinoid. Okay, so these chemical structures are given here. Here you don't need to make these chemical structures, but you need to recognize the chemical structures, because now the pictures can be given in the exam, and then you will have to tell about the name of these chemical structures, that to which category of drugs these chemical structures are related to. Okay, so see here the differences between these two chemical structures. Okay, here this benzene ring is given, and you can see here this nitrogen, which is making a bridge between two groups, is present here, right? And these bonds above the plane, okay, these bold lines present here are representing the bonds above the plane. Okay, so such things you can notice. You can observe other things also from here to differentiate between these two structures. Okay, here you can see this benzene ring and OH group is attached with it. So we can say that phenolic group is present here in this structure, but there is no phenolic group in this structure. Okay, so on the basis of these things you can differentiate. Then also hydrocarbons are present here, okay, in this structure, in the cannabinoid, right? So you can differentiate these two structures and can tell the names of the drug category. Then these are the parts of the plants from which different categories drugs are obtained. Okay, first this is opium, means poppy plant, right? This poppy plant, you can see here, this is the capsule in which latex is present, from which we obtain the morphine, right? This is the capsule from the latex of which morphine is extracted, right? This is leaf of cannabis sativa. Cannabis sativa, from which we obtain different cannabinoids like charas, ganja, hashish, like that. Okay, so different parts of cannabis sativa are used. So in your NCERT books, this leaf is given here, right? And this is a flowering branch of datura plant, from which coca alkaloid category drug categories can be obtained, right? So you need to differentiate these plants also from these pictures. Topic is tobacco and its effects. So tobacco paves the way to hard drugs, means it helps in taking off many hard drugs, means which cannot be taken orally, okay, which cannot be ingested. So with the help of tobacco smoking, these drugs can be taken. Okay, so how the tobacco is taken? Tobacco is smoked, okay, it can be taken by smoking. It can be chewed, or as snuff, means it can be taken through nose by smelling, right? And with the tobacco, some hard drugs can also be taken, right? So it paves way to the hard drugs. Tobacco contains nicotine. So what is present inside the tobacco? Nicotine is present. What is this nicotine? This is an alkaloid which stimulates adrenal gland to release adrenaline. So you have studied about these glands. You know, adrenal glands are present above the kidney, and this gland release adrenaline and noradrenaline. Okay, and what is the function of adrenaline and noradrenaline? These cause high blood pressure and heart rate. Okay, these increase our blood pressure and heart rate. So this nicotine present in the tobacco stimulate the adrenal gland. That's why there will be over release. There will be excessive release of the adrenaline and noradrenaline, and due to which there will be increased blood pressure and heart rate. That's why you can say that tobacco cause increased blood pressure and heart rate. Other effects are smoking causes cancer of lung, right? Because some carcinogenic, some mutagens you can say are present in the tobacco, which cause cancers of lung and also of urinary bladder and throat. Also these can cause bronchitis. You can I hope you remember this, it was in 11th class, bronchitis, a respiratory disorder, right? Also emphysema, a respiratory disorder, and coronary heart disease. Coronary heart disease It was also in 11th class. So just recall about these diseases, right? So all these are caused due to smoking. And also gastric ulcer. Gastric ulcers means inside the stomach ulcers can be formed due to smoking, right? Next is tobacco chewing causes oral cancer also. Okay, it can cause if someone is chewing the tobacco, because in the tobacco many carcinogenic substances are present. So due to chewing, oral cancer can be caused, right? Next effect is smoking increases carbon monoxide, that is CO content in the blood, right, and reduces oxyhemoglobin. So due to increased carbon monoxide content in the blood, there will be a reduction in the amount of oxyhemoglobin. Means this carbon dioxide present in the blood will compete with the oxygen to bind with the hemoglobin. Okay, you know what is the function of hemoglobin? To carry the oxygen, to transport the oxygen, you can say. If the carbon monoxide is present in the blood, it competes with the oxygen and it has high capability to attach with the hemoglobin. That's why oxyhemoglobin content will be reduced, and this causes oxygen deficiency in the body, right? Now based on today's topics, your homework is do the following question. First question is mention the useful as well as the harmful drug obtained from the latex of poppy plant. Second question is how does smoking tobacco in human lead to oxygen deficiency in their body. Third question is write the scientific name of the source plant of the drugs marijuana and hashish and mention their effect on human body. Now let's discuss the homework solutions of previous lecture. Question number 12 and 13 of NCERT I gave as homework, and this is answer of question number 12. Difference between cancerous and normal cells. So cancerous cells, as these cells do not possess the property of contact inhibition, right? Contact inhibition property is lost in cancerous cells. That's why they keep dividing, forming a cluster of cells, right? Due to loss of contact inhibition property, these cells keep on dividing and form a cluster of cells. Normal cells, as these cells possess the property of contact inhibition, they stop dividing once they come in contact with other cells. So you can say normal cells have the property of contact inhibition, and that's why they divide in a controlled manner. Second difference is do not experience differentiation. Okay, cancerous cells form a cluster of cells. These cells do not differentiate, means these are not taking any particular shape and function. These do not attain any particular shape and function. These just make a cluster of cells. All the cells will be of same kind here. And here normal cells experience differentiation after attaining growth, right? Normal cells after attaining growth, means after dividing for some time, these cells will differentiate. These will attain a particular function and shape. Then next difference is cancerous cells are not confined. They move to the adjacent tissues, right? These are not confined to the same place. They can sloughed off and can move to the adjacent tissues also and can interrupt their functioning. But normal cells are confined to a specific location, means these remain confined to a specific location. These are not sloughed off to the nearby tissues, right? For question number 13 of NCERT, and the question is what is metastasis? Explain. Okay, so metastasis is a pathological process, okay, because it leads to a disease, that is cancer, right? So it is a pathological process that is observed in malignant tumors. So it is not found in benign tumor. It is a property of only malignant tumors. In this process, the cancerous cells spread to different body parts and divide indefinitely to form a cluster of cells known as tumor. So here cancerous cells sloughed off from one part and move to the different parts of body where they divide in uncontrolled manner and form a cluster of cells that is called tumor. some of these cells from the tumor get sloughed off and manage to enter into the bloodstream, right? Some of the cells will enter into bloodstream, and through the bloodstream they arrive at the distant parts of the body, and thus the formation of new tumors is initiated as they actively divide.